Welcome to this week's Express class. What we're going to do this week is we're going to start to develop the glutes a little bit more on the side plank. We're going to start with a little bit more bridging, really focus on the glutes, a few different varieties, and we're going to practice loads on the side. So we're going to do a side series, and we're going to start to work into the full plank, side plank, and to really get those glutes working hard. So we're going to get started, we're going to hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of a warm up for the glutes. So we're just going to stretch out the hips to start, to keep the back flat, pick the left foot up, twist the foot all the way out to the side, back in, right foot up and out, back in, left foot up and out, and in, right foot up and out. Good, so just getting that internal rotation in the hips, trying to loosen them up. Good. One more each side, so don't worry about looking around the arm, just focus on getting that hip or the foot all the way out to the side. Next we're going to tuck the toes underneath the feet, lift the knees up, and then rest back down. So getting the glutes working here, along with the lower abs, just to tense them and start to get the muscles activated. Good, so just lifting and lowering the knees. Two more. And last one. Good, and then rest back down. And turn over onto your back now. So head resting on the headrest. We're going to imprint the spine, a couple of toe taps to get the abs working. Remember the abs working in unison with the glutes to keep the pelvis level. So imprint the spine, legs to tabletop, and tap the toes off the mat one at a time. With each tap start to stretch the legs out further and further, keeping the back flat. And then legs back to tabletop and rest the feet down. Imprint the spine, roll the hips back, lift the hips up, and then back down. 1, 2, 3. Remember, keep the ribs down as we do this. Exaggerate the imprint on the way down, arch the back, imprint and lift. Good. 4 more. 3, keep the ribs down. 2 more. Last one. Perfect. And then rest back down. We're going to bring one leg into the chest. This time we're going to hug the knee in nice and tight. We're going to dig the right heel into the mat. Lift the hips up and lower. 1, 2. Don't worry, this lift won't be that high. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then rest down. Switch over to the other leg, so we hug the knee to the chest, we stop the back from arching, and we make sure that all the lift is coming from the glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, keep the knee in nice and tight, 10, and then rest back down. We're going to lift the hips up next, up nice and high. We're going to straighten the right leg, and we're going to do 10 pulses. So imprint the spine, roll the hips back, lift the hips up. We're going to extend the right leg, keeping the hips nice and high, and 10 pulses with the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the right knee, extend the left leg. 1, 2, 3. Keep the hips high, ribs down, good, halfway. 7, keep the left hip level with the right. 9, 10. Bend the knees and bring the hips down. Next one we're going to do, lift the hips up nice and high again. We're going to bring the legs out to the side, left and to the right. So again, imprint the spine, roll the hips back, lift the hips up nice and high, extend the right leg, slide the right foot to the side and back in. Remember with this one, keep the toes pointing straight up towards the ceiling. So you feel like you're pushing the right heel out to the side. Make sure the foot and toes point up, good, halfway. Keep the hips up nice and high. Good. Last two. And last one. Bend the right knee and bring the hips down. We're going to repeat the same on the left leg. Imprint the spine. Lift the hips again. Straighten the left leg. Slide the left leg to the side. Back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, keep the ribs down, 10, bend the left knee and bring the hips down onto the mat. Next we're going to bring the heels and feet together. We're going to drop the knees out to the side, so the thighs are at 30 degrees on a 30-degree angle. We're going to imprint the spine, ribs come down, lift the hips up and lower down. 1, 2, so you should really feel the glutes squeezing like this one. 3, remember your glutes extend the hips back, lifting the hips up, and they also externally rotate the legs, so they drop the knees out to the side. So as we lift up, we get the hips into that position where the glutes really contract. Good, and you should really feel them tighten at the top. Good. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then lower back down. Perfect. Onto our sides. We're going to run through a little bit for the hips first. So we're going to tire the glutes out before we come into our side planks. So back line up at the back of the mat. Feet coming into the front corner of the mat. We're going to run through our side series and the hip adductions. They were last week's technique tutorial. We're going to run through all of them. So top leg up and down for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest the leg down. Lift the top leg up 6 inches. And circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest the leg down. Instead of the big circles, we're going to do our pulses. So lift the leg up nice and high, keep the toes pointing straight forward, so don't turn the toes up towards the ceiling. So lift the top leg as high as you can, toes pointing forward even a little bit down, and 10 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the leg down. And now we're going to cycle forward. Lift the top leg up and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the shin parallel to the floor. Hand on top of the pelvis and keep it as still as you can. 8, 9, 10 and backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest the legs down. Top hand comes onto the mat in front. Lift the top leg up 1 foot into the air. Lift the bottom leg up to touch and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the legs back down. We'll flip over to the other side. And we're going to repeat the same process. So we're looking to tire out the hip abductors. 1, 2, before we come into our planks. 3, side planks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the leg down. So we're going to do some side planks. We're going to develop them a little bit, and the big circles we're going to do during our side planks just to really make it harder. Lift the top leg 6 inches and small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest the leg down. Pulses next. So again, a top foot, it points straight forward or even a little bit down towards the mat. Don't have the toes twisting up towards the ceiling, otherwise we start to use our rectus femoris at the front here, our hip flexors, and our TFL as well, tensor fasciae latae, little muscle at the front. We want to really focus on these glutes. Lift the top leg up, toes pointing forward to down, and pulses. 1, 2, 3. Keep the pelvis still. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. And bring the leg down. Last couple on the side. Lift the top leg up and cycle forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest the top leg down. Top hand onto the mat, lift the top leg up 1 foot, lift the bottom leg up to touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and rest the legs down. We're going to come up onto the elbow next. So what we've done there is we started to fatigue the glutes beforehand. We're going to come into some of our side planks, really start to challenge the glutes some more. So we're going to straighten the legs down along the back of the mat, so we're not one nice straight line down the mat. Elbow slightly lower than the shoulder, but directly below it, so closer towards the hip. And we're going to lift the hips up, so we're all going to have our legs straight today. We're going to lift our hips up and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So have the top hand on the hip if you want, or down on the mat. 8, 9, 10, and hold 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. And rest the hips back down. Next one we're going to do, we're going to come back up into that side plank with the hips up, and we're going to lift the top leg up and down. So again, we're all going to do it with the legs straight. If you have to bend the knees, we're going to start with the legs straight. We're all going to try and make it a little bit harder than last week, and then we're going to come into one with the bent knees after that. So I'm going to be nicer after this. So we're going to lift the hips up nice and high, and top leg up and down for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the legs, rest the hips back down. Next one, we're going to bend the knees. So this time we're going to do big circles. We're going to lift the hips up nice and high with the knees bent. Good. Straighten the top leg down to the mat, and then big circles come around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pinch the shoulder blades. Stick the ribs forward. 10, and rest the hips and rest the legs down. We'll flip over onto the other side again, and I'll run through planks, side planks. So elbow below the shoulder but slightly closer to the hip, straight line down the mat, hand onto the top hip or on the mat, preferably on the top hip, so we're not using the other arm to try to twist ourselves up. We're going to keep the body straight. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9. Pinch the shoulder blades. Nice straight line down the mat. Make sure you don't twist forward. Keep the hips pushed forward and contract the lower abs. And then rest back down. Good. Next one, we're going to lift the top leg up and down for 10. So pinch the shoulder blades back, chest comes forward, rib cage comes down, imprint the spine, so suck the stomach in, lift the hips up, and top leg up and down for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the legs, rest the hips back down. Last exercise, straight line down the mat, knees are bent, top leg is extended, lift the hips and big circles. 1, 2, really focus on getting that heel nice and high. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Rest the hips down. And that's it for today's class. Pretty much all glute focus today. Really work on those muscles. Their muscle gets quite lazy and it's one that doesn't stabilise the pelvis. So it means that the spine has to stabilise itself while having a weak foundation from the hips, which means it creates a lot more tension through the spine. And that can irritate the facet joints at the back, the discs, and can just lead to really tight muscles in the back. So we're really focusing on the glutes the last few weeks to build up the strength there and take the pressures off the back. Hope you enjoyed today's class. See you next week. Bye bye.